long were you together before you recorded that album?
A few months.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that is a killer album.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. It reminds me of like Fugazi and Baroness. You ever listen to Baroness?
I'm not super familiar with Baroness. Fugazi is a really big influence of mine.
Yeah.
Our drummer also really likes Fugazi.
Oh yeah.
It's done well.
Our bass player doesn't dislike Fugazi, but I think it's more of an acquired taste for him.
Yeah.
He's. We all have an eclectic kind of palette of music,
Different tastes.
They kind of intersect and diverge at different places, and that kind of is what makes our sound what it is.
I always love that about music. That's my favorite thing about it is you could do something by yourself, like if you're a guitar player and a singer and even if you can play every instrument, right, and you record an album all by yourself, you can do it, but it's not going to be the same thing as if you got together with 4 other people and each person has their own part of, what you create. And so it's like, and it each comes from different experiences and different tastes.
That is incredibly important, because if it was just me and I had I had full reign of the sound, people would be like, hey, that kind of sounds like Fugazi.
Yeah,
but
it would just be exactly whatever
because I have Blake as a co-writer, it sounds something like something different, something special, where you can kind of be like, hey, I can kind of hear some Fugazi in that, but also I can hear a little Alkaline Trio, and I can hear a little bit of hardcore, and a little bit of pop punk, and a little bit of emo.
Yeah,
so,
it hit me in the right spot. Have you ever heard of Japan Droids?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
It kind of got that vibe in it.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But Hoppus, that's like my favorite song. Is it like Mark Hoppus reference?
Yeah, so Blake has had that bass riff for, I guess he's had that riff like for a little while, and he's wanted to. Blake uses this term. He's like, I need to burn this. Which I guess means he needs to get this out. He needs to put it in something. He's had that riff to burn for a long time. And Blake is a big fan of Mark Hoppus as a bass player.
Okay.
And I think it was heavily influenced by how Mark Hoppus plays bass.
Okay.
Oh, that's killer, dude. Yeah.
So it was a kind of an inspiration for it in a lot of ways. That's awesome.
A song that we will probably record again, because he does it, not the bass part differently necessarily, but he sings it different now, so.
Oh, nice. Yeah, dude, I love the bouncing back and forth with the vocals too. Cool. That's really great.
Also, Blake's idea is like, hey, we need to have some call and response in this.
I like that. So how long have you guys been? Is that whenever you guys started the band, when you met, or have you guys known each other?
I've known Blake for like 10 years.
Yeah.
We've never had the opportunity to be in a band together. We've always been in different bands.
Right.
But Blake moved to Oklahoma City, or Norman rather, about a year, maybe 2 years before I moved here.
Okay.
And I didn't even know that he was living here. I just texted him one day. I'm like, hey, man, I'm going through some shit, and I'm moving to Oklahoma City. He's like, hey, dude, I live in Norman.
Weird.
And I'm like, I didn't fucking know that I haven't talked to him in a long time. So.
Yeah, it was just a random. That's awesome. That's like, it seems like it's one of those things that was just perfectly, it was supposed to happen.
Yeah, it was very serendipitous.
I love that. I love seeing that. I've been noticing it a lot more. Well, I guess whenever you kind of look for that, I don't know, but it happens. And I think it's a part of, if you hadn't texted him, if you hadn't made the choice to reach out to your friend and say what's going on, that wouldn't have happened. It's like, I think a lot of people stop themselves from even getting to that point, and then those kinds of opportunities won't appear if you don't put yourself into any, out of yourself into the world.
Yeah.
Dude, check in on your homies, dude. Even if like life has taken you to like different places.
Right.
And you've diverged.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
If you think about them,
just say, hey.
Get in their DMs. Like, hey,
that's a good that's a good way to think about that. Because have you ever done that where you're like, man, I need to call this person, and they call you?
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, that's kind of.
Yeah.
I usually, if I think of somebody, it's like, let me say what's up. Hey, Dad.
Because I think that's something telling you, maybe your body or something even deeper telling you to, or something. It's like, I think that when a thought appears, right, it's like, I'm just thinking about Nick for no reason, just randomly.
Yeah, I know you are. I know you're thinking of
Hey, Dad, did you get those smokes yet? Or
miss you. But yeah, man, I was very impressed. I mean, you sent me the album, I think, whenever we first met. And I was just and I'm a big like I said, like an old emo guy, so like it hit the spot, like old piebald. Stuff like that.
love piebald.
Do you really? That's
Dude,
like my favorite.
I don't meet a lot of people that know about piebald.
Yeah.
I love piebald.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I found that on mp3.com back in the day. Man.
Didn't you see them?
I met them.
Yeah,
I was 16. I hugged them.
I remember you having a picture or something.
Yeah, dude. I was like nervous. I was like sweaty.
So I grew up like in like Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio area.
Yeah.
And I think piebald is like from Delaware or something like that, or maybe
They're
Maryland.
from Boston.
They're from Boston?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they're just like.
But they were road dogs. They would.
Yeah.
Yeah. They would. Remember they traveled in their biodiesel van, and like it would break down all the time. I missed them twice because
That's
of that.
wicked. Yeah, like that. Like a lot of my older family at the time loved piebald, and by virtue of that, like I was introduced to like piebald, a band that I probably never would have heard of.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I just happened upon them, but then they were like, and the best thing is Travis Shettle's such a nice dude. You ever follow him on Instagram?
no,
You can send him money and he'll write you a song.
really.
Yeah,
Is that
and
true?
he'll do jingles and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so I was thinking about just doing it for my business, my Nick Campbell comedy, or I'm sorry, Nick Campbell's on Electric.
Which business?
No, that's a better idea. You should. If
Yeah.
someone sends you money, you should write them a joke.
Ooh, I like that.
That's really good.
Don't take my idea. That's a good idea.
No,
I'll write you a joke.
Honestly,
It's like a cameo, but
yeah.
maybe more offensive.
It's going
You
to be.
could- I mean,
It costs more for
you could
offensive.
offer people to leave their voicemail message. That's a good thing for celebrities for sure. But
Write
a comedian.
people's letters of resignation.
That's really good.
As per the desk of Nick Campbell.
Dictated but not read.
AB says, fuck y'all bitches.